So the first thing you should do when reading a text should be reading the background information. This information can give you the purpose, and it can also give you who the author is and who the audience is intended to be. And then you should thoroughly read through the text and underline, highlight, and circle key points throughout the text. While you're doing that, you should identify rhetorical devices that are used throughout the text. Identify why they're used, like the purpose. What does it achieve? Does it create any type of rhetorical appeal? You should be taking notes by the text as you're reading, and identify vocabulary and syntax that the author is using.
So, soapstone. The first S is for the speaker. The speaker is what really tells the story. And before a student or anybody begins to write, they really think about who's going to tell this story. So that's really where the speaker comes from. That's an aspect that you need to think about while evaluating a piece to further determine what is their background and what ideas or bias may they have behind that piece. The O is for occasion. The occasion is the time and place of the evidence. It's also like what's going on in the world and environment around that piece. That's vital because it really influences the opinions and the way that a writer speaks and the opinions that they draw. The A is for audience. An author is going to target their audience to a certain group. This group is what's going to influence them on how they want to present this topic and what type of language they're going to use to do this. The audience is sometimes a very vague audience. It could be the American people, or it could be as simple as a small auditorium full of high schoolers. That could be somebody's audience. So it does vary a lot. The P is for purpose. A purpose can be somebody's argument or why they're doing it. It's important to really evaluate the purpose because that really tells you the logic behind what they're writing. And that's really key for when you want to write an essay, because it really gives you that background information to build your essay and your thesis on. S is for subject. Each article will kind of target a subject area. You want to identify this kind of like purpose so that you can write your essay and build on the writer's logic and their ideals. Also, if you identify the subject, you can really see where the writer wants to go with it. If you only have, say, an introduction or conclusion, you can almost piece together the rest of the essay or the speech based off of that. T stands for tone. That is where you are going to get how they are saying it almost. They may have different tones throughout also. It may go from a serious tone to a humorous tone. This is where the emotional aspect of a writing or a speech really comes into play. That is where most of your pathos ground is made.
So we know that a rhetorical process is used to structure an introductory paragraph and rhetorical analysis essay. However, when we write a body paragraph, we have to structure it according to WWHW, which stands for what, where, how, and why. What rhetorical devices are being used in the text, and you usually start off with one sentence stating what rhetorical device the author is using, and then you really want to continue on to where. This is like where the rhetorical device is being used in the text, and you want to state the quote that contains the device and properly cite it. The H is for how. How does this device achieve the author's purpose, and what does it do? Make sure to refer back to your claim that you stated in your introductory paragraph and show how this device supports the claim. This usually should be 2 to 3 sentences. And the last W is why. So why did the author choose to use this device? This is probably the most important part of your body paragraph because this shows how the rhetorical device is used to support and strengthen the author's point. In addition to explaining why the device helps and strengthens the author's purpose, you also have to explain what type of rhetorical appeal it can create. It can either create a pathos rhetorical appeal, which deals with emotions, an ethos rhetorical appeal, which deals with credibility of the author, or it can create a pathos or a logos rhetorical appeal, which deals more with logic and pertains to the reader's sense of logic. So, and also, why does this make the claim stronger? This is how you should structure each of your body paragraphs. In a good rhetorical analysis essay, you usually should have 3 of these WWHW structured paragraphs in order to have a complete essay.